Ave, traveler. With the setting sun, the sounds of the empire just fade away. The sharp commands of the centurions, the rhythmic stamp of 1,000 sandals on the drill ground, the clang of steel on steel. All of it recedes with the light. The drills are done for the day. The marches are over. The great, grinding machine of Rome, with its ceaseless hunger for order and expansion, has finally settled for the night. The gears slow, the noise subsides, and a profound quietness descends upon the land. But here, in the heart of the Castra, the fort another life exists, a much quieter one, an internal world of routine and silent ritual. Come in, rest by the fire. You've traveled far. I can see it in your posture, in the dust on your cloak. The night air here on the frontier is cool, carrying the sharp scent of pine and damp earth. Let the sounds of the barracks soothe you. Let the world outside these timber walls, with all its demands and its uncertainties, just melt away. There's a kind of peace to be found here, a deep and abiding solace in the simple, repeated routines of a soldier at rest. Here, in the flickering firelight, there is only the quiet company of men who have found a strange sort of home at the very edge of the known world. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the gentle, radiating warmth of the small brazier on your face, a welcome contrast to the chill of the evening. As you breathe out, let your shoulders drop. Feel the tension in your neck and your back begin to dissolve. Let your mind settle. Let the worries of your day drift away like smoke from the fire. Tonight, we're journeying to a time of simple discipline and profound peace, all unfolding beneath a vast, star-dusted Roman sky. If you find a little solace in this journey, a moment of tranquility in this ancient place, a simple like or a subscribe helps to keep this small fire burning, bringing more quiet moments from the past into our often too loud present. Now, find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and just listen. This space we share, it isn't large. It's one of 8 identical rooms in this long timber building, our barrack block, our unit, our contubernium, the 8 of us who live and fight and eat as one. We call this small, rough-hewn space home. The air in here is thick, a complex tapestry of scents woven from our daily lives. There's the ever-present, reassuring smell of wood smoke from the brazier, the rich, oily perfume of well-tended leather, the lanolin scent of our wool blankets, and the faint, earthy aroma from the packed dirt floor beneath our feet. Through the small gaps between the timber planks of the wall, you can smell the damp Gallic earth, a fertile living scent, and the sharp, clean fragrance of the pines that crowd the very edges of the fort's defensive ditch. Listen, do you hear that? That soft, rhythmic scraping. A gentle, persistent sound in the quiet. That's Marcus, my contubernalis. He's sitting on his low, 3-legged stool with his back to us, a small, worn knife in his hand. He is diligently, almost meditatively, scraping the day's accumulation of mud and grit from the thick leather soles of his caligae, his sandals. Scrape, scrape, pause. A little pile of dried, dark dirt is growing by his feet, a tiny monument to the day's long patrol. He does this every single night, without fail. It's a simple ritual, one of many that gives our lives shape and meaning. It is his way of shedding the day, of cleaning away the miles walked, of preparing for the next journey. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't need to. His presence is a comfort, a steady, predictable rhythm in the evening's quiet. His focus is absolute, a silent lesson in mindfulness. In the next room, with just a heavy woolen curtain serving as a wall between us, you can hear the soft murmur of other soldiers. Their voices are low, indistinct whispers, the words lost, but the cadence familiar and soothing. Maybe it's a shared story from home, a quiet joke that elicits a muffled chuckle, or the soft rattle of dice on a wooden board in a low-stakes game of chance. The sounds are part of the fabric of this place, a gentle, constant hum of life that rests just under the silence. It's the sound of safety, the sound of brotherhood, the knowledge that you are not alone in the vast, dark wilderness. The fire in the little clay brazier in the middle of our room shifts and settles. A log, glowing with inner heat, finally gives way and cracks, sending a small, surprising shower of brilliant orange sparks floating up towards the roof beams. For just a second, the room is bathed in a bright, dancing light. In that brief flash, you can see the details of our shared world. The curved leather straps of our armor hanging from stout wooden pegs, hammered into the walls, the dull, reassuring gleam of our helmets stacked. Neatly in a corner, the rough-spun striped wool blankets folded on our straw-stuffed bunks. This is our world. It's simple. It's orderly. It is meticulously, intentionally peaceful. The day was long. We spent the morning in drills, the centurion's voice barking commands across the training ground, his words like stones skipping across the field, ensuring we all moved as one fluid, deadly entity. The afternoon was given over to lighter duties, repairing a section of the palisade wall that had been weakened by the incessant rain. Honestly, it feels more like a builder's task than a soldier's, but that's the life of a legionary. We are builders as much as we are fighters, bringing Roman order to the frontier with shovels and saws as often as with swords. But now, the day's work is done. The evening meal has been eaten, a simple but filling stew of beans and salted meat. All that's left is the quiet drift into night and the small, personal tasks that get us ready for tomorrow. For me, that means tending to my equipment. It's not a chore. It's a ritual, a meditation. Join me. I reach for my armor, my larica segmentata. It's resting on a low wooden bench, and the overlapping iron plates are cool to the touch, having shed the memory of the day's sun. It's funny, during the day, under the glare of the sun, they can get scorching hot, almost too hot to touch. At night, they hold the chill of the air, a cold, heavy promise of protection. I pick up a piece of soft, clean wool, slightly damp with olive oil. You see, rust is a soldier's constant enemy, a creeping, silent foe that's worse than any barbarian. It eats at the strength of your protection, dulls the intimidating shine of your gear. And so, every evening, we fight it with oil and with care. Listen to the sound as I wipe the oiled cloth over the first curved plate of the shoulder guard. A soft, slick, whispering sound. It's a patient sound, a sound of deliberate care. I move slowly, methodically. Every single plate, every hinge, every buckle must be cleaned and lightly oiled. The smell of the oil is sharp and mineral, a clean scent that mingles with the wood smoke and the smell of old leather. I unbuckle the intricate leather straps that hold the sections of the armor together. The creak of the thick, hardened leather is a familiar sound, almost like a sigh of relief at the end of the day. Creak, and then the soft, metallic clink of the bronze buckle as I set it down carefully on the bench beside me. I work my way down the torso plates, following the contours of the armor that follows the contours of my body. The sound of the oiled wool on iron is hypnotic, a soft, repetitive whisper that fills the small space. It's a sound that speaks of care, of preservation, of respect. This armor is my second skin. It has saved me from blows that would have ended my service and my life. So to care for it is to care for myself. The army demands our arms are always bright, because the coordinated gleam of a legion's well-kept armor can scare an enemy, breaking their spirit before a blow is even struck. But here, in the quiet of the evening, its purpose isn't to inspire fear in others. It's to find a small moment of peace, of focus for myself. My fingers, slick with oil, trace the edges of each iron plate, feeling for any new dents or scratches from the day's work. I find a small nick on one of the lower plates, perhaps from a clumsy moment with a building tool. It is minor. I don't find any others. So I continue my slow, rhythmic polishing. The oil catches the firelight, creating a soft, deep, liquid glow on the metal. It's like a liquid darkness that seems to just absorb the light and hold it within. As I work, I can feel the tension in my shoulders start to ease. The day's weariness, the ache in my muscles, just melts away with each slow, meditative wipe of the cloth. Now, for the straps. Leather needs a different kind of care. I take a small pot of mutton fat, a tallow rendered down just for this purpose. It's waxy and cool to the touch. I scoop a little onto my fingers and begin to work it deep into the leather straps. The sound changes now. It's not a whisper anymore, but a soft, pliable squishing as my fingers rub the fat into the hide. A quiet, intimate sound. The leather darkens as it soaks in the grease, becoming more supple, more resilient. This simple act keeps it from cracking in the dry summer air or rotting in the relentless winter wet. Once the armor is done, gleaming softly and smelling of oil and wax, I set it aside carefully and reach for my gladius. My sword. It rests in its scabbard of wood and leather, adorned with simple bronze fittings. I draw the blade. It makes a soft, deeply satisfying sheeting as the polished steel slides smoothly against the wooden interior of the scabbard. The blade is short, wide, and brutally practical, designed for the close, vicious work of the battlefield. But here, tonight, it is an object of focus, of pure form. I take up my whetstone, a smooth, gray stone worn down into a gentle curve from countless sharpenings. I pour a little water over it from my canteen, and the water trickles down its surface, darkening the stone. I lay the beveled edge of the blade against it. The sound is a gentle, gritty scrape. Scry-ape, lift. Scry-ape, lift. I hold the blade at a constant, practiced angle, drawing it along the whetstone in one long, smooth, unwavering motion. This isn't a hurried, frantic sharpening before a battle. This is maintenance. A slow, careful honing of the edge, a conversation between steel and stone. Scry-ape, lift. Scry-ape, lift. The sound is so calming, so utterly simple. It demands all of your attention, clearing the mind of all other thoughts. I turn the blade over and repeat the process on the other side. Scrape, lift, scrape, lift. The firelight catches the honed edge. It gleams, but it's not the sinister gleam of a weapon hungry for a fight. It's the clean, honest shine of a tool that has been perfectly maintained. A carpenter cares for his saw, a farmer for his scythe, and I care for my gladius. After a few more passes on each side, I wipe the blade clean on an oil-free cloth. It's perfectly, lethally sharp. I slide it back into its scabbard, sheeting, the sound of a finished task, the sound of tools being put to rest, the sound of peace. The nightly chores are done. Marcus has finished with his boots and is now mending a small tear in the shoulder of his tunic, his bone needle dipping in and out of the thick wool with a practiced, efficient ease. It's time for a small, final meal before sleep. Our main meal, the senna, was hours ago, but a little something to carry us through the night watch, and until the morning's bread is always welcome. I reach into a sturdy wooden box kept under my bunk. Inside is a round of hard bread, what some call hard tack, a small wedge of goat cheese wrapped in a piece of linen, and a handful of dark, wrinkled, dried figs. Simple soldier's fare, food made for endurance, not for pleasure. I take the round of bread in my hands. It's heavy, dense, and tough made to keep for weeks on the march without spoiling. Breaking it isn't easy. I hold it firmly and apply pressure. The sound is a dull, satisfying crackle as the hard crust finally gives way to a dense, chewy interior. I slice a piece of the cheese with my Pugio, my small dagger that serves as both a last-ditch weapon and a personal eating knife. It's a hard, salty cheese that keeps for weeks, even months, on the march. The blade makes a soft, crumbly slicing sound as it passes through the dense white block. I lay the slice on the rough surface of the bread. The figs are sticky and sweet to the touch, a little luxury that reminds me of warmer lands, of home, in Italia. They are a welcome counterpoint to the salt of the cheese and the blandness of the bread. I can almost taste the sunshine in their concentrated sweetness. Eating is a quiet thing now. There is no conversation, just the sound of my own slow chewing. The rough, abrasive texture of the bread, the sharp saltiness of the cheese, the surprising, sugary burst of the fig. A simple meal, but it's enough. It's fuel. It's comfort. It is a quiet moment of gratitude. I pour a little water from my leather canteen into a simple, unadorned clay cup. A gentle splash and a soft gurgle as the water fills the vessel. Sometimes we are issued posca, a mix of water and sour wine, which is surprisingly refreshing. But tonight, plain, cool water is all I need. I drink it slowly, letting it wash down the dry bread. Marcus looks up from his sewing, catching my eye for a moment, and gives a slight, almost imperceptible nod. I nod back. My friend and I, we are men of few words. We've shared this small space, this contubernum, for 3 years now. We know each other's moods by the way we breathe, by the way we clean our gear. This quiet understanding is stronger than any spoken bond. It's the true core of the Legion's strength, not just the endless drills and the superior armor, but the silent, unshakable trust between brothers in arms. The fire has burned low, collapsing into a pile of glowing embers. The only light left is the soft, deep orange glow from the coals and a single flickering oil lamp resting on a wooden crate that serves as a table between our bunks. Its light is gentle, insufficient for any real work, but perfect for thought. It casts long, dancing shadows on the timber walls. The murmurs from the room next door have faded completely. Most of the men are now asleep, their soft, even breathing a gentle, rhythmic chorus in the profound quiet of the night. This is the quietest time, the time for thoughts to drift from the frontier back across the sea. For me, it's time to write. Sending a letter isn't a simple thing. The military post, the cursus publicus, is remarkably efficient, but the journey from this remote outpost in northern Gaul to my family's small farm south of Rome, it could take weeks, months, even if the weather is bad or the roads are poor. But it's a connection, a thin thread of words stretching across the vastness of the empire. It's a way of saying, I'm here, I'm well, I remember you, I have not forgotten. I retrieve my writing tools from my personal effects box. It's not a grand chest, just a simple wooden box for my few treasures. A small roll of precious papyrus, a calamus pen. I carved myself from a dried reed, and a little pot of black ink made from soot and gum. I unroll the papyrus carefully across my lap. The sound is a soft, dry rustle, a delicate sound in the otherwise silent room. Wrestle. I unstop the ink pot, a small ceramic vessel, and dip the sharpened tip of my reed pen in. Plink. A tiny, almost inaudible sound. I pause, the pen hovering over the pale sheet. What do you even say across such a distance of time and space? The big things politics, rumors of war, the grand strategy of generals, they don't belong in a letter home. A letter is for the small things, the things that make up a life, the things that say, I am still me. I begin to write. The only sound now is the delicate, scratchy whisper of the reed pen, moving across the fibers of the papyrus. Asterisk Gaius to his dearest father, his mother, and his sister Livia, greetings and good health. Scratch, scratch, whisper, dip, plink. Asterisk, I pray you are all well, and that the autumn harvest was a good one. I hope the new olive trees we planted before I left are strong and have taken root. The trees here are different. They are tall, dark pines that whisper in the wind all day and all night. The air is colder than at home, wetter, but it is clean. Do not worry for me. My health is good. The work is hard, but my body is strong. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I think of my father, his hands gnarled and rough from working the earth his entire life. I think of my mother, her quick smile and the smell of baking bread that always seemed to cling to her clothes. My sister Livia, she was just a girl when I enlisted and left. Is she a woman now? Does she still climb the old fig tree by the creek? Asterisk, my duties are routine. We train, we build. We stand watch on the walls. Life in the fort is orderly and predictable. I share my quarters with a good man from Hispania. He is quiet but steady, a fine soldier. We have become a family of sorts, here at the world's edge, looking after one another. Whisper, scratch. The pen moves, leaving a dark trail of my thoughts, my very essence, on the page. Asterisk, the food is plain, but there is always plenty of it. Mostly bread and a kind of porridge, with cheese and sometimes salted pork or beans. It is not like mother's cooking, of course. Nothing in this world is. I often think of your rabbit stew with rosemary. Does the old dog, Cerberus, still sleep by the hearth? I hope his hip does not bother him in the cold. I smile to myself in the near darkness. It's these small, vivid memories that keep you going. The memory of warmth, of love, of a life waiting for you. That's what you carry inside you, more precious and more protective than any armor. Asterisk, I received the woolen socks you sent with the last merchant caravan. The nights are already growing cold here, and they are a great comfort to my feet. Thank you. It feels like wearing a piece of home. Asterisk, please do not worry for me. This posting is a quiet one. The tribes nearby are peaceful for now. My service earns good pay, and I am saving most of it, entrusting it to the Legion's standard bearer for safekeeping. One day, when my 20 years of service are done, I will come home. We will buy that little plot of land next to ours, the one with the stream running through it. I think of it often. I can almost feel the cool water on my feet. I write until I have nothing left to say. A letter isn't for burdens or complaints. It's for connection. It's a bridge made of words and memories. Finally, I'm done. I sign it simply, asterisk, your loving son and brother, Gaius. I let the ink dry for a few moments, blowing gently on the surface. Then I roll the papyrus up carefully. A soft, final rustling sound. I'll give it to the courier in the morning. A weight I didn't even know I was carrying feels lifted from my chest. The last ember in the brazier has finally faded from a dull red to a soft ashen gray. The oil in the lamp is almost gone. Its flame, a tiny, weary thing, sputtering and dancing as it fights against the inevitable darkness. It's time for rest. Marcus is already asleep, a still, quiet shape under his wool blanket, his breathing deep and even. A soft, reassuring sound in the dark, the sound of a trusted companion at peace. I get up from my stool, my joints protesting slightly, and walk the few steps to my own bunk. The straw-filled mattress rustles as I lie down. It smells sweet and dry, like a sun-drenched summer field. I pull the coarse wool blanket up to my chin. It's scratchy against my skin, but it is wonderfully warm. I lie on my back, my hands behind my head, staring up into the darkness where I know the roof beams are. I can't see them, but I know their shape, their placement. I know this room as well as I know my own hands. Outside, a gentle wind has picked up. I can hear it sighing through the tops of the towering pine trees that form a dark wall around the fort. Ooh. It's a lonely sound, but a peaceful one. The sound of the world breathing. From the ramparts, far off but clear in the still night air, I hear the faint cry of the night watch, calling out the hour to his counterpart on the next tower. All's well. The sound is one of vigilance. The sound that lets the rest of us sleep, safe in the knowledge that someone is watching over us. I close my eyes. My body feels heavy, weighted down with a good kind of tired. My mind feels clear, settled by the evening's familiar grounding rituals. The sounds of the barracks become a lullaby. The soft, deep breathing of Marcus. The long, slow sigh of the wind in the pines. The almost imperceptible creak of the fort's timber walls as they cool and settle in the night air. My thoughts begin to drift, losing their sharp edges, becoming soft, blurry images. My father's face, weathered and kind. The glint of firelight on my clean gladius. The surprising sweetness and sticky texture of a dried fig. The delicate scratch of the reed pen on papyrus. The deep, steady breathing of my friend. The world narrows down to this small, warm, dark space. This circle of peace in the vast, dark wilderness of Gaul. Here, I am not just a cog in Rome's great machine. I am Gaius, a son, a brother, a soldier, and tonight I am at rest. The night grows deeper now. Thoughts are dissolving, like salt in water, becoming indistinguishable from dreams. There's only the darkness, the comforting weight and warmth of the blanket, and the gentle, rhythmic sounds of a world at peace. The quiet life of a soldier. Long, slow periods of calm, of discipline, of routine, broken up by moments of terror and chaos. But tonight is for the calm. It's a gift, a treasure. And now it's time to rest. Let the sounds of this Roman night guide you down, 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 into a deep and truly peaceful sleep. May your dreams be quiet. May your rest be profound. Vale, good night.